This is Yusuke Murata live streaming. This is Flash. Flash. He's very cool. Tatsumaki. She's Tatsumaki. There is panty or no panty. It's mysterious.
Bro, Murata talking about Tatsumaki's panties just absolutely slayed me this morning. I had to include that clip. But unfortunately, guys, we don't have a chapter this week because One and Murata have decided to redraw the ninja arc. I guess they weren't happy with kind of the flow, or they want to do something different. So they're gonna redo the ninja arc so far, which is like, I believe, the last 8 chapters. As they say, thank you for the love of One Punch Man. Regarding the latest episode, we apologize for the inconvenience, but we'd like to take a break due to the revision and replacement of work starting from episode 240. Episodes 240 and onwards were already released before. The correction is available at the bottom of the page. It will be included in the newest version. What is changing? I hope you'll compare them. We're working hard to write the last chapter for release, so please wait a while. Now, this isn't completely unfamiliar from One Punch Man. They actually do this quite a bit. They redrew the battle with Saitama versus Orochi, and they've done tons and tons of other redraws throughout the series. And you're probably asking yourself, well, why? We want the new fresh content, right? Like, most of us could care less about redraws. We want to see what happens. Like, we want to see Blast versus Empty Void, right? Blast just came in and nailed Empty Void with the right hook gravity knuckle. I wanted to see those two scrap, but it looks like this whole ninja arc is going to be redone. Now, I speculate it has something to do with the chapters being very short and probably rushed. As we know, Murata has started his own animation studio, and he's been working on all sorts of other material, so he kind of put One Punch Man in the back burner, and he was giving us very short chapters. Like, some of these chapters were like 7 pages long, which is extremely short for One Punch Man. We used to get 45-page chapters. I assume it has something to do with that. Like, maybe he felt like it didn't get the attention it deserved, so he wants to redraw it and also maybe change some elements of the story. Now, I'm hoping that he's not changing it to go to the flow of the webcomic, because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's basically skipped over. Like, in the webcomic, there's all this hype for the founding ninja, and then you don't really get to see the fight, which was unfortunate. We're getting to see a lot more of him here in the manga, and I love that. I mean, it's super exciting to me. We also have Blast here in the manga, but we didn't have Blast vs. Empty Void in the webcomic. So the new material so far, like, while the chapters were short, I still think it was headed in a great direction. But perhaps they missed something, they skipped over something important, and that which can happen when you're rushing, and maybe because they skipped over some important piece of information, potentially with God or something else, they need to redraw it in order to get that info in there. Most of the time they do these redraws for continuity's sake, so the story lines up more with what's going to happen in the future. Now, interestingly, Murata did reveal this picture, and a lot of people were guessing why he tweeted this picture. It looks like God coming down, destroying the Hero Association, but people were asking him that, and he said, no, that's not it. Maybe these redraws have something more to do with God. Maybe he's going to have, like, the ninjas attack the Hero Association, and that God is supposed to symbolize a God avatar, which is Empty Void, perhaps changing up the story. I really don't know. I think we're in for probably a big surprise, but I would be, and I think most fans would be very frustrated if we got just pretty much the same thing, but just a couple redraws or extensions to, let's say, Flashy Flash and Sonic versus all the other ninjas that they completely obliterated. The whole backstory between Sonic and Flash, and how Sonic had this dream of starting a new ninja village where they didn't torture children, but they still taught them, how to be strong and have values and those sorts of things. I like the dichotomy between those two characters. Are they going to change that? Are they going to make Empty Void even stronger? Are they going to kill Sonic? Like, all these things could potentially happen in these redraws, and I guess I'd be okay with it. The thing is that One Punch Man doesn't really follow the same Shonen Jump monthly release. It is owned by Shueisha, but it's more considered a seinen, not a shonen. Shonen is for, teenagers, 12-year-old boys, and seinen is for more for young adults, which is one of the main reasons that I like it so much. And interestingly, One and Murata have a lot of freedom when it comes to the releases of One Punch Man. All of the shonen manga, they're on incredibly strict deadlines to release a full-blown chapter every single month, and they're like working up until the last second to get it out so they can publish it and people can go buy the magazines and read the full chapter. But One Punch Man doesn't follow that. They kind of have their free will to draw and create as they wish, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's good for them because they can take breaks when they need to. They can work on other projects, right? But for us One Punch Man fans, we get kind of an unreliable schedule, and that's what we're seeing here. My guess is that they maybe got some negative criticism for releasing 8 very short chapters that didn't really progress the story until Empty Void popped out, and perhaps they also skipped over something, so they're like, all right, let's redo this. Instead of 8 chapters, let's make it 3 45-page chapters, fix up the things we missed, and give us a more intense fight with Empty Void. And perhaps Blast is not the one to come in with the gravity knuckle. Maybe Empty Void fights Saitama now, like in the webcomic. Although the manga doesn't have to follow the webcomic, and it hasn't. It has deviated a ton from the webcomic. It still kind of follows the bullet points of the story, but changes tons of the in-betweens. So I'm not 100% sure that that's what they're trying to do, like get Saitama in front of this guy, but perhaps it is. Personally, I was mega hyped to see Blast fight against the god Avatar, and I was hoping that Saitama would not come in because I want to see more of Blast, and I'm just hoping that whatever these redraws do, we get more of them. There's also the fact that Saitama and Blast teleported away to go search for Empty Void, and then we didn't see either of them for, 8 chapters or so. So what was happening during that time? Is Murata and One planning on showing us maybe Blast took Saitama out in the universe somewhere to see what God is and introduce him to his other galactic superhero comrades? That would be awesome. I would love to see something like that before they come back and eventually fight Empty Void side by side with Sonic and Flash. Are they going to make Sonic and Flash fight this guy and give us just a crazy intense battle to the death and just not even have Saitama and Blast come in? That's all we can really speculate with right now, and it appears that we won't be getting a chapter for 2 weeks. And I guess it will start from chapter 195-ish, probably with Sonic and Flash getting to that meeting ground, that junkyard where Sonic is like, we could start a ninja village here, the place of dreams, where they met up and then they got attacked by ninjas. I guess the whole fight with the ninjas is going to be redone, and I hope that we see something fresh and cool, because this is a pretty major backstep for One Punch Man. We've gotten singular redrawn chapters before, but not like 7-8 chapters in a row. This is a pretty big deal, and I'm curious as to what they're cooking. But as always, I love and respect One and Murata. These guys are like my idols, and whatever they decide, I'm paying attention. And obviously, I will let you guys know when we get more information and a new chapter. But at least we got the teaser for One Punch Man Season 3. A lot of One Punch Man stuff to start talking about in the coming months. So I'm not too worried, but I figured I would make this video and let you guys know what's going on. Without further ado, I'm Mastar. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think about this. And I'll be seeing you soon for some more One Punch Man.